Hughezy, hello. Come and join us on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for fucking Hughezy.
Ahoy. So, interesting about that AJ Styles thing, because I remember hearing that Hogan's TNA contract was like $2 million a year.
Yeah.
At a time when, in their greatest year ever, they'd only ever made $700,000 in profit.
Yeah.
So they were immediately in massive debt because of Hogan. And then other people like Angle and Sting were like, he's getting what? Then I want $1 million.
Yeah.
So, which is a thing that's going on in other places where if somebody's getting a big contract and everybody wants it, which is why in the E-Drone company, they're not giving out the big paydays anymore or as often.
Well, you know what they say, Hughezy.
Sometimes in life you gotta be a hoe.
So
Yeah,
gotta do your thing, right?
I'd be pretty pissed off if I paid for a hoe and Mercedes Monet turned up.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd say, excuse me, it specifically says in the brochure that you have an arse. Where is it?
Not what you're expecting, huh?
Yeah, I don't want an arse that I could snort coke off or play cards on.
Right.
Cunt.
Hughezy wants someone to show up and do him like Jade Cargill did Naomi in the chamber there.
I would let her give me AIDS. Stage 5 AIDS.
You
just so I could even... I said AIDS.
Let's jump into some WWE news. Now, before we get into what I have on deck here, I know, Hughezy, he likes to drop some
allegedly
on us, right? That's on the soundboard. And so you have an allegedly for us, right? I mean, what do you got cooking here?
Okay, so allegedly, and this will be in Keeping It 100 this week. It just was added in the clips nearly 20 minutes ago. Allegedly, there's hate on Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
So if you, of course, the new video game is out, and a lot of people are complaining, myself included, that his model is nothing what he looks like now. Because when he came in, he was like 50 pounds lighter, and he was really cut and ripped.
Yeah.
But he has since put almost all the weight back on, and the muscularity's gone and stuff. Allegedly, Bruce Pritchard and even the Usos have all complained about Jacob Fatu.
The Usos? What?
And apparently Roman Reigns has complained about it as well. Conan says, as long as you've got Triple H having your back, then you're okay. But allegedly there's heat on him, and to be fair, Jacob has put a lot of weight on over the past year. But at the same time, Conan made the point, which people will hear this week on the show.
Conan!
When Jacob signed with WWE, he had not ever been making big money on the indie scene.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a bunch of kids, and he also has time off, so he can say to the kids, hey, I'm making, I don't know, just throwing it out, just like $300,000 a year. Let's go out and get some dinner. Let's go out and we'll have a pizza party. You can have your kids, your friends over, all this shit. We can, live the fun life. So that is an allegedly that I heard quite a few minutes ago.
Now, one of the allegedlys that you heard as well that I read off, and Shadow K100, but I read off on the show, right?
Allegedly.
Was that this was before the match was even announced, was that, Rhea Ripley will drop the belt to Io Sky on Raw after Chamber so that they can set up the triple threat. You told me all that shit a while ago. So again, folks, like if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, well, we're not dirt sheets over here, right? But with Hughezy, right? He's heard the stuff, and so that if there is heat, so what is the heat on? Like the fact he's getting, like, what is it about? Like he has an attitude or something? I don't know. Is that entirely clear or? Well,
I'm not too sure, but apparently he passed out backstage at Saturday night's main event show.
Gee, like what?
Yeah,
Explain.
you know when he wrestled Strowman.
Yes.
Apparently, he after the match, Jacob passed out.
What?
Yeah,
Because he was tired.
probably. Yeah, like it's pretty. I hope they push him because, like, if you ask me,
Yeah,
I
love him.
think he's ready now.
Yeah, me too. He's good to go. I love him. You can pull the trigger on him. I want to see him beat Solo, then beat Roman. Even I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty crazy though. If there is heat on him. So what are the Tongans cool with him or what?
I don't think they even matter. By the way, can you believe that Tonga Loa, in his debut year, got the cover of the video game?
Crazy. That's got to
He's the
be
greatest of all
debut as Loa as well. Like we get it. Yeah, he was in WWE as like Camacho or whatever back in the day, but he didn't make the cover as Camacho. Tonga Loa comes into WWE, graces the cover of 2K25. Pretty crazy. He is the GOAT.
Yeah, if I'm getting that game, is it tomorrow or Friday? He's immediately winning every title in the game.
Yeah. And he'll do it injured somehow as well. Okay. Dude, do you have any other allegedlys, or that's the big one? You're always coming with heat here, Hughezy.
Well, I did hear about the one of the reasons why the Ripley thing happened. Allegedly, it's like, and by the way, she is like zero hate. She's not got any bad reputation at all.
Yeah.
But her problem, in air quotes, is that she's so popular and so over with the fans, is that they can never turn her heel. Well, not never, but like she'll not be a heel for like within the next 2 years. Because like, why would you mess with this merch machine?
Yeah.
The problem she has is she's so physically bigger than every other heel on the roster that when she's champion, there's nobody really for her to work with, like, unless she wrestles Nia Jax all the time. So the money for her is in chasing the belt as a face. So I think that's why the AO thing happened. And plus, AO's great. Like she's really become popular like, over the last year. Like the Marks lover there, man. So so that's and this triple threat. It's a way to put them all in a match, while potentially, just my opinion that she would if the Rock and John Cena are going to have a third person, my prediction is Bianca Belair, because she hasn't been a heel yet on the main roster.
Right.
It would maybe explain her jealousy attack on Jade Cargill, that she want, like the same way Cena attacked Cody. They all want the top spot.
Well, Jade attacked Naomi, and it's still confusing. Like, who's the babyface? And here, not in like a bad way confusing. You're just kind of wondering, like, who's really the babyface and who's really the heel here, you know? So it's kind of interesting that way.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Disco, God bless him and his nose. He's kind of backtracking, or he's going to be backtracking a lot. Where he's the guy who specifically has been the loudest, saying, "Oh, the build to WrestleMania is shit. They're not doing anything." It's like, but they have. It's just that you people expected it all at once. Like, why isn't the entire card for WrestleMania announced immediately at the Bad Blood pay-per-view? It's like,
exactly,
because they had to build a load of other shows first. Look at how huge Elimination Chamber was before that ending happened. They did it, and now everybody can't wait for WrestleMania. Like, so I just say, just sit back and enjoy the show, and stop analyzing everything. And if Jade Cargill's listening, I put the anal in analyze.
Well, yeah, guys, quit analyzing shit. Well, Hughezy, do you want to analyze some WWE news with me here? Some headlines that are going.
Love to.
So here's what Seth Rollins has to say on this new WWE podcast with Sam Roberts. You a fan?
Of Sam Roberts? Absolutely not. I hate him and have hated him for years. Sam Roberts, you bald piece of shit.
And Megan Morant. And I was like, yo, these two have the chemistry of Elon Musk and Bob Lazar in a church. But they're interviewing Seth Rollins here, and he has to cut a promo on Punk. Let's take a
What
look.
is it about Punk that makes you hate him so much?
I mean, look at
And every word that Seth says about Punk, just picture Hughezy saying it about Sam Roberts, too.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the
let's
guy. He
think about it. So Anthony Cumia is going back to AM radio,
Crazy, yeah.
while Sam Roberts is hosting a show, the morning show on Sirius. It's disgusting. I hate Sam Roberts. He's a devious piece of shit.
Is Jim Norton not on that show anymore?
No, Jim Norton has now left, and he does a podcast with his wife who has a penis.
His wife. Yeah. Oh, good for him.
is
Good for her and him, I guess.
hypocrite. If the world is going to sit there and talk about, oh, listen to all these wonderful, great things he said about, this John Cena and the decision he made at the Rumble and The Rock, Dwayne, dude, you've done everything and more that you're accusing these guys of. You're a coward. You're a fraud. You gave on your dream to main event WrestleMania years ago. I mean, we don't have to go through all the things that he did in his time away before he came back. I've told this story a million times, and the fact that he has the gall.
So, Hughezy, is the match just Seth versus Punk? Like, that's the one I want to see. I guess we're getting it in a cage at Madison Square Garden on Monday. But, like, goddamn, that means the WrestleMania has to be like a triple threat if they're just doing Punk and Seth in a cage this Monday,
Yeah, like that's I can see this match on Monday being, what's the old term, the bait and switch, where they're not going to really have the cage match. They're going to do the entrance. They're going to have like a big pull apart brawl, and then I'm assuming that's when Roman's music kicks in and he goes after. The way I could see it happening is it'll be very groundbreaking and original, where he goes to spear Seth and Seth moves, and then Punk gets speared. So then Seth does the curb stomp on Roman and
the Hitchcock of wrestling angles here, right?
Yeah, and then at Mania they'll have the triple threat, and it'll be revealed that whatever the favor was. So maybe Heyman turns on Roman, and maybe it's Punk as a heel with Heyman against Roman for a while. I'm guessing.
It's weird how Roman's like the odd guy out of WrestleMania this year, no?
It's his own fault, and I don't know if you've mentioned this on the show, but Disco said on Keeping It 100 from a good source that Roman has 10 dates left in his contract. Should I say contracted dates in 2025. So I don't know if that means 10 matches or literally they can only use him 10 more times. But it's insane. And the problem with Roman is he's working a part-time schedule at a time when WWE has a shitload of stars.
Right.
So it's not like when Brock Lesnar would turn up every 2 or 3 months and they had nobody. It's Brock. So when Brock came back, we used to think, oh, this is going to be great. Yeah. But now with Roman's taking time off and being forgotten about, like, look at how much Io Sky has grown in popularity since the Royal Rumble. Even just that. I think that Roman, unless WWE offers him an insane amount of money, I think that they're going to have to maybe sort of try to scale him out of plans, because this part-time shit is stupid, especially when they're not even really doing house shows anymore. But with Roman, the problem is so many people in his absence are rising up to the point that when Roman then does come back, people think, ugh, because it's like, oh, here he comes to take the top spot. It's. So I think that there could be a legitimate fan backlash starting against Roman sooner than later, because, like, it's almost weird. And, well, Do you ever remember me telling you the original plan for Mania 41?
Yeah, well, I just remember you saying that like Cody Rhodes did actually go into business for himself a bit like that.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be Roman was supposed to wrestle Rock last year, beat him. Cody was supposed to wrestle Rollins last year and beat him for the Raw belt. And then 41 was supposed to be the unification of Cody going over Roman. I think that Roman's better off as a heel because him coming back as a face, it's like when you've got the Uba Boogalooga necklace or whatever it's called.
The Ulafala?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he's got the sparkly necklace thing back. Yeah. So it's just like, well, then you should have hit the ground running.
Yeah.
But when you do a big turn like that, like I have predict that Roman gets booed at WrestleMania by the fans, regardless.
And it's a triple threat though: Roman, Seth, Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be that as well.
And for me, and I know like Rollins obviously is great, but for me the interest is in Punk versus Reigns because not that we haven't seen it before, but it's been what 12. over 12 years
12
since
years
they
or
wrestled.
11 years or something like that.
Yeah, I would prefer that, but then again, this WrestleMania build is weird. Like
It is weird.
So what they have, 6 or 7 matches per night, and unless they do like a 10-man US title match from SmackDown, there's going to be a lot of people pissed off backstage.
You think?
Oh yeah, what I have no idea what Jimmy Uso is going to do at WrestleMania.
Jimmy Uso, yeah, no doubt. Do you think they... Yeah, you're right, because it's going to be Yeetamania. He's going to come out and celebrate with Jay and all of that and just have a good moment. And then they'll try and get Jimmy over next year, as in like WWE's year, Mania to Mania.
But even at that, because it's like on SmackDown, so they seem to have Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight going. That got dropped. Then they went with... I've remembered another allegedly that I can tell you.
Oh, so, shit. Okay, another allegedly here. Now, hold on, guys. Okay.
So, and then they started doing Drew versus Jimmy on SmackDown, and that's been dropped now.
Why are all these angles getting dropped, Hughezy? What's up with that?
No, I think simply they've so many ideas going and not enough time. But, so allegedly, and to be honest, I could see this not happening because of the time, there had been talk of doing a Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny tag team match.
Okay.
And allegedly an idea that had been thrown about was Priest and Bunny against McIntyre and Logan Paul.
Oh, like I'd love that, dude. Or like even a heel LA Knight and Logan Paul, even though they feuded a bit, you know? He's like that Hollywood guy. If LA Knight went heel and but he's so over. But again, and maybe that's why John Cena as a heel works too, because you have a lot of big baby faces right now. But yeah, I love that. McIntyre and Paul versus Bad Bunny and Priest. That would be amazing, dude.
But then with all that stuff, like Priest, with Bad Bunny, I don't know what his routine is, because I remember being told by somebody that a while ago there was plans for like a big mega show where it was going to be Rey against Roman, who was still a heel, and Bad Bunny against Dominic Mysterio in like a Mexican stadium show. But and I can also say that someone was allegedly supposed to be part of this Chad Gable in Mexico story, but he was out dealing with an illness for a while, allegedly.
So yeah, folks, and make sure you listen to K100 as well, okay? You know what I'm saying? Because make sure you show them love. Hughezy puts in work over there. But listen, Hughezy, okay, now if we're alleging stuff, everybody's like, well, it's obviously Rey Fenix. And I'm like, I don't think it's that obvious that it's Rey Fenix. I think it could be something else or someone else or who knows. But it would make sense. That would be something where you go, all right, you could use that. But what do you think about it now? If you had to guess, or maybe like whatever, have you heard or something?
Well, I haven't heard who it is, but do you know a rumor I'd heard was that Chad Gable was going to get hair plugs put in.
Like for real?
For real, and
Jesus.
it wouldn't shock me if he actually wrestled in a lucha mask for a little while just to let the plugs settle in.
Oh, and then the dude just gave him a mask to wear, so it's not even like what he got was just a mask, and he's gonna go learn lucha, but it's not a person necessarily. It's like he's just got to wear this mask till his head heals or something. Is that what it is, Hughezy? I didn't expect you to say that at all, dude.
Yeah, that's what I think it would be in the actual reasons. So if he starts wearing a mask, because it's like I remember that thing with Kurt Angle when his hair just started falling out, and they're right out of the blue. They're like, okay, hair versus hair match. And they're like, wait, what? Like.
Yeah. So why don't they do hair versus like mask or something like that instead of?
Yeah, I'm sure. But then if you look at Bruce Springsteen, he's unbelievable hair plugs. Like some of them are worth it.
Oh man, Hughezy, that I didn't expect you to say that at all. That's insane. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Phoenix that Gable's linking up with, at least in my opinion. But yeah, Rollins calls Punk a fraud and a coward. We have Natty Neidhart, so she is making appearances for both Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 13, which we covered on the last show, GCW, but also, dude, she's wrestling in the Crockett Cup in NWA. How insane is that? I'm so excited. And NWA, they were really good at the start, like when they returned with that power show on YouTube. Then it fell off. They lost a lot of their guys. And then now they're sort of coming back. I mean, they had the one dude, the sinister minister sniffing cocaine with cheerleaders in the crowd during that one show, which was ridiculous. But and they got kind of over with the pandemic, and then like their big reveal was Marty Scurll, and then the whole like wrestlers speaking out thing happened or whatever, and then like Marty Scurll kind of got like semi-canceled, you know. And so that was like their big reveal that they were building up to, and then NWA started kind of up from there, and then AEW really took off. But yeah, to see Natty going on these side quests and doing GCW and being a part of a Crockett Cup, Natty Neidhart, like in the history books, and I think that's really cool. Now we know that Billy Corgan and NWA, like they've been trying their asses off. Oh yeah, and we're gonna see Natty and TNA. I called that so long ago. We're seeing that 100%. Just so y'all know, not to play spoiler, but anyways, though we know NWA's been trying their ass off to get WWE to like acknowledge them or cross over or whatever. Billy Corgan's talked about it. If you follow him, he's, you know, they just tag WWE. They make plays at it. Natty's here. Now NWA is not WWE ID or anything like that. Not that they should take that title. They're more, if I was them, I'd make a play to be like, yeah, we'll develop people like TNA, which is what Billy Corgan's thrown out there in the past as well. Like, hey, we could be one of these developmental type places. But what do you make of this? Like, is this how you keep, like, Natty doesn't have a spot on Mania, Hughezy. So I'm saying, well, they can go work TNA and WWE and NWA, or pardon me, and NWA, and they can go wrestle shows that are surrounding WrestleMania and shit like that. Do blood sports. Like, is that enough to keep some of these talent happy? Natalya's out there on assignment. Is that enough to keep someone? I mean, she's a WWE for lifer, obviously. We know that. But like, let's say you're who's a name? Like, let's say Asuka wasn't injured, but she was just had nothing for Mania. Is sending her to do Bloodsport or do NWA or do a big TNA show around WrestleMania, is that enough to keep them happy, do you think? Or is that bullshit?
Well, speaking of TNA, look at the size of her tits in that photograph. My God. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yes. Oh, my God. Huge
yeah,
I'm my God.
Completely distracted. Like what a set of milkers, my God. But yeah, I have no idea why they extended her contract. Like, why would they keep her around with the Rays? She's not doing anything to help them. Literally on Raw, her role on Raw was she was walking backstage with what's her name, Maxine Dupree.
Yeah. She's going to start training Alpha Academy or whatever now, I think.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So, yeah, like, I have no idea why I would say let her go work elsewhere. They don't need her.
Okay, so you're just like cut her entirely. But what do you think about, is this enough to keep people happy? Like, you're on a WWE contract. She's coaching NXT talent. Tyson Kidd's there as a producer and training people, da-da-da-da. And they're looking at Natty as like, you're going to train the future. You don't have a spot on Mania. Let's say you're Chelsea Green. You don't have a spot on Mania, but they're like, oh, go do a GCW show with Cardona or something. Is that enough to keep her happy and be like, okay, I guess I'm not on Mania, but at least I'm in WWE and I'm on TV and I get to, is that enough, or is that not enough?
No way.
Okay,
no,
all right.
if they don't have Chelsea Green on WrestleMania, people are going to be really pissed off.
Right.
I think she's one of the best things they have.
Well, who's her match for Mania then, while we're on the topic?
Probably Bayley.
Okay.
Because that's all I can think of that's left is mid-card title matches.
So, okay, we have Jon Stewart. People are like, yo, wrestling's mainstream again. We got Jon Stewart. I mean, he's always had ties with the WWE or whatever, but Meltzer said what the GOAT says. When I just heard that Jon Stewart had done a segment on The Daily Show about the Cena heel turn, I totally forgot that Stewart cost Cena the title against Seth at SummerSlam in 2015. Do you guys remember that? You remember that, Hughezy? I'm sure you remember that. Chat, I'm sure you all remember that. But Jon Stewart cost Cena out of nowhere. He like heel turned and helped Seth win the belt. What were you going to say, Hughezy?
Yeah, I remember him getting the attitude adjustment move, and then Jon Stewart immediately covered up his beer gut instead of just selling it. Fat bastard.
Here we go. Here's Jon Stewart and some random guys. I don't know who these guys are on the left, but they're and there. This is The Daily Show. And yeah, let's watch this segment. Here we go.
The best way that I can explain what happened and show Americans how to process this new reality was with another shocking turn of events from this weekend.
On Saturday night at the Elimination Chamber, the WWE shocked the world as John Cena turned heel, joined The Rock, and attacked Cody Rhodes.
Now,
are you a Jon Stewart fan these days? I used to stay up. I would stay up late. I'd watch Chappelle's show and I'd watch The Daily Show right after. That was like every night.
No, the older I've gotten, I've grown to really dislike preachy liberals.
Fair enough.
And also, he's only doing this because his acting career failed. So, no Big Daddy 2 for Jon Stewart.
Was that going to be a thing? Yeah, he was like a bit part in that.
Yeah, and he was in, do you remember The Faculty?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that as one of the killer teachers, but yeah, he's full of shit. He's only.
Yeah, I just watched that the other day. I watched that at Halloween time, brother. What about he was also super funny in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, where he's like riffing with Will Ferrell on the news, and he's like,
I used to work for Kevin Smith, you know.
Yeah. Oh, when you put yourself over there, no, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it's funny. My mom actually messaged me about this the Cena turning heel.
Wow.
And
yeah,
she said, "Is it really a bad guy now?" And I said, "It was amazing. I will show you it once I get out of jail."
And we did up. You were trying to come into the live show's Meltzer, and I like kicked you. It was stupid. We should have. It was so dumb. That would have been such a good bit. But yeah, let's hear what Jon Stewart has to say.
if that does not immediately explain to you our current geopolitical climate, you must have grown out of watching wrestling through the normal course of aging. I, on the other hand, understand this in my bones.
You know how the crowd's laughing? Like, I have some friend, like, I know, like, I'll say a guy, you know, but it's more than one person who, like, they get paid $60. So you go sit on set of these shows and just laugh at whatever the host says and clap. And that's a whole job in Hollywood. Not to hate on him, but I don't know. I'm not listening to his whole spiel there. But yeah, it's getting mainstream again. Even Jon Stewart's talking about it again after he had to take over the Daily Show from Trevor Noah. What were you going to say there, Hughezy?
But what used to piss me off about his show was how he would crack up laughing so much while doing it. It's like, but you've rehearsed this all day. Like, this is probably the 16th time today that you've said this joke. Yeah, what are you laughing at, you dickhead?
So you don't like when like stand-ups laugh at their shit?
No, it's fake. Nobody's funny except for Chelsea Green.
So per TKO president Mark Shapiro, WWE is keen to renew its premium live event deal with Peacock, which is set to expire next year. No Netflix PLEs for US fans. So pay-per-views are in the US are going to stay on Peacock. What do you think about that, Hughezy?
I think that's amazing business for them. We get everything on Netflix.
Me too. Yeah.
But basically, next year, for the pay-per-views alone, they're going to be in a legitimate billion-dollar bidding war. Because there's so much business coming in from it that they're going to be and plus people forget that the Netflix deal is for Raw only.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine how much else they could get for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for them. And also, what I think is that Netflix is waiting they want the UFC at the end of this year. So their TV deal is up at the end of the year. And then the UFC and TKO, which we're going to talk about here, UFC, WWE, TKO, it's Nick Khan and what's his face? Who's the other guy? God damn it. And Dana White, are going to run this new boxing league, and the Saudis are like footing the bill for everything. And
the thing, I'm a big boxing mark, and
Yeah.
I think it's amazing what the Saudis have done for boxing.
Me too.
For boxers, but they're also killing the sport. Like a boxer in a year now can make well over $70 to $80 million if they fight 3-4 times.
Yeah.
Why would they keep going?
I mean, it's hard because you're going to have to find more of those outliers like Floyd Mayweather's who can wake up in the silk sheets, like they say, and then still get up and run their ass off and want to fight for some reason. You're going to get more of those guys in the long run with that. That's all that means, I think. But
there was a guy about 2-3 weeks ago who was a replacement fighter called Martin Okoli or something like that.
Yeah.
He had 48 hours notice. Accepted the fight, came to Saudi Arabia, had the fight, get knocked out within the second round, and he gets $7 million for that.
Yeah, that's like Ben Askren. That's why when people say shit like, "Oh, Jake Paul, it's not a rigged fight," but here's the thing: when you get Ben Askren, who's had a hip replacement and is a wrestler, and you say, "Hey, let me fight you. We'll give you like $2 million or whatever. We'll give you $1 million in half pay-per-view points or whatever." And then Askren goes out there and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't train for this at all. I just had a hip replacement." And then he just gets knocked out in 1 second. I mean, you're basically throwing a fight. You know what I mean? That's more or less what that is a rigged fight. You know it's going to happen.
And I don't blame them, but this boxing thing, I honestly, I can't see it not working. Because
it's going to be awesome. It's going to be good. And like the matchmaking, Dana White's the best at making the fights that people want to see. Nick Khan is a brilliant businessman rather. And then if you have the Saudis footing the bill for everything, and to bring it back to this Peacock news, what I think is, and Netflix rather, is that Netflix is just waiting it out a bit. They want to make sure they can get UFC. And then I think they want to even try and get that boxing, maybe even as a part of the deal or whatever, because it's new, right? And so, and then I think they'll sit back and then make a play at the pay-per-views, because for them, it hurts them none, like all over the world other than the US. I'm sure you have millions tuning in to see WrestleMania this year, all over the world on Netflix alone. So it's good for both parties right now, I feel like.
Yeah, if I'm WWE, John Cena's not wrestling until Mania. Well, that's hardly a hot take.
Yeah. And
to see the day, and I know you can't really build up WrestleMania by keeping Cena off SmackDown. But if I was them, I would try to save Cena's big debut for WrestleMania. The numbers will be enormous.
Okay, so moving along here. Becky Lynch tweeted this out, then deleted it. This was after Raw, and there was some venom spit. Seth and Punk, we covered it a moment ago. They're just going back and forth, and I really just want these two to fight one-on-one at WrestleMania, pal. But Becky Lynch tweeted out, "Catching up on Raw. I don't think I'm the one who needs to come get my man." because Punk was like, Becky, come get your man or whatever. And I guess someone pointed out that Roxanne Perez and CM Punk were wearing matching gear. They have like burgundy or maroon colored gear, like with the black or whatever. And I guess they're wearing matching gear. And then Becky Lynch is saying, yeah, like, I don't think I'm the one who needs to come get my man. Then she deleted it. Now, some people are like, oh, it's because it's sloppy shop, bad for business, bullshit. I don't think it's because that. I just think that WWE's still in the business of like, okay, don't say that because everyone's going to think you're coming to Mania or some shit. Or maybe she is coming to Mania and it kind of spoils that a bit. Or do you think it's because it's sloppy shop and they're like, what the?
I just think that's kind of maybe she deleted that because they were like, that's a little stiff for a wrestling storyline.
Yeah, and like that implies a bunch of shit. Roxanne's boyfriend is on that one reality show. Punk has a wife. It makes it it's kind of shitty. I feel like it's more of a like a personal dig. It goes a little deep to imply that, especially when all the sickos are always talking about online. Why is Punk all the girls in NXT and everything like that? And even if he is or isn't, man, that's between him and them. But just her lending credence to it, I think, would be more why it got deleted. But I don't think it's like sloppy shop. If anything, people are like, oh my god, Seth and AJ versus Punk and Becky, and that's like what's in my head. Make that match. That'd be awesome for Mania.
Yeah, and all that on all the shit behind the scenes of the affairs and the Vince stuff. They're probably just like, just don't joke up like that type of shit. But that being said, Punk doesn't do himself any favors. Like, he spent a lot of time hanging out with Roxanne Perez over the Elimination Chamber weekend. So like they're likely just talking shit and saying, oh, Daredevil looks amazing, all this stuff. But at the same time, he should know better. And at this day and age with these marks, that they're going to try to come up with any type of made up shit.
Yeah. Well, we know Punk likes trolling him, but I don't think that's what happened here with that. I think it's what you said, Daredevil. They're both like comic book marks. Daredevil's just coming out. And also, we saw that on another show. I think it was AEW, right? Where what had happened? Chat will remind me, but I think there was like one. I remember. Brian Cage was dressed as Wolverine, and then Sammy Guevara came out dressed as Wolverine. And Dustin Rhodes was Deadpool, and it was like, hey, two Wolverines on the same show. Becky, you wore the same outfit as me, you know? Jesus Christ. So that's what Roxanne and Punk did here.
Yeah, and I can happily confirm that episode 1 of the new Daredevil is unbelievable.
Well, no spoilers, please. I'm going to watch the whole goddamn thing. Phil Marks Out channel coming soon, by the way, Hughezy. You'll have to come review and do some shit with me over there.
Definitely.
Yeah,
but the thing about I'd heard for a while allegedly that the plan was supposed to be Andrade and Charlotte against Seth and Becky Lynch.
Wow, that would have been fun too.
But then obviously shit happened and all. But what happened?
Emotional damage.
Yeah, I think they had some type of an Electra level fallout. Speaking of Daredevil,
there you go.
Yeah, right, but then it also heard that Lyra versus Becky Lynch was planned, but I can't see them being able to bring Becky in at this stage and build it up, and it may just have people rolling their eyes, going, "Oh, here's another part timer coming in, taking up the top spots like Charlotte Flair and all this shit." So I would say maybe Becky should just sit this one out.
Well, speaking of part-timer in the top spot, the new WWE GOAT, a real shooter, Travis Scott, meets up with Triple H here in Gorilla after he slapped the shit out of Cody Rhodes.
How fun's that? Bro. This might be better than like low-key. It was like a whole nother vibe. Yo, it was so crazy because it was like in the ring, I was like, oh, dog, I think we about to be like straight bad guys. And like hit me. And I was like, oh, it's about to hit.
Hey, wait till you hit that.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I already seen it just off of that little rip. I'm like, no, it get real. I'm already hooked. I'm going back to the H. Man, tonight? What? I'm going to the ring tomorrow. What you talking about? I'm about to build a ring in all the cribs. I don't think y'all know. Yo, my goodness. Come on. Oh, baby. Crazy. Right? Crazy. Come on.
So a lot of people didn't get Travis Scott. What did you make of him being there? I liked it. I thought it was good. They were holding Cody Rhodes down, and he was throwing in sucker shots that he'd never do man-to-man, face-to-face. And again, he's an upper echelon, elite, high-level celebrity. So it just sort of makes sense for their crew or whatever, I guess. And we know Cena's going to do a rap song with him again for his heel theme. So like, because he does that whenever they work with Khalifa. Right? That was in like 2015. They worked with Wiz Khalifa for the video game. Cena went and recorded tracks with him. I don't think he was still making music then even. You know, I think he quit making music way before then. So you know he's going to do that, make a new heel theme and all that probably. But what do you think of Travis Scott's involvement in WWE and this interaction with Triple H back here?
I get that he's popular and all that stuff, but I think he is a pillar of dog shit musically. He's like that music he has. It was where he just goes fiend. It's just like, listen, I'm 40. I remember when Tupac had a debut single. I remember when Wu-Tang were these up and comers on the scene. I remember when California Love was debuted. Like I despise modern hip hop, and I'm an old school hip hop nut. And the way Travis Scott gets on with the incense and all that stuff, like he's. I thought he was on. I don't know if I could say it on YouTube, but I thought he was on uppers.
Okay, like he
in that ring, because you could see Rock saying to him, "Hold Cody down," so they could whip him. So instead, Travis immediately goes over and lifts Cody up by the throat like that. And it's like, are you dumb? What are you doing? And by the way, I love getting stoned. Anybody that walks through a crowd smoking weed while there's kids there,
yeah,
is
that's
cunt.
that is an asshole.
Him and his girl hair. And
I agree too, and I enjoy myself the marijuana as well, dude. But yeah, you can't just walk through a crowd with kids smoking weed. That's crazy to do.
Like if somebody was walking through a crowd drinking a beer and they spilt it on a kid, you would say, "What the f are you doing?"
Exactly.
You go, "Oh yeah, I'm a slob," while this is smoking weed in a kid's face. But he is.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see.
Apparently, he is wrestling at WrestleMania. I have no idea who against.
I don't care. I don't want him to have a match. I just want him to come out and be like a sucker punching little bitch and then get his receipt. I just feel like the crowd's going to erupt when Cody Rhodes backhands his ass, pimp slaps him at WrestleMania. Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Unless they do, maybe that would be the Jimmy Uso match. Jimmy Uso against Travis Scott. But that's just only because I can't think of or predict anything for it.
No, he needs someone who could really carry him through that shit. And not hating on Jimmy, but I mean, come on. We saw him and his brother wrestle, and clearly his brother wasn't at last Mania. And not that Jimmy can't wrestle, but Jay is clearly not the problem there when him and Jimmy. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So Io Sky comments on winning the WWE Women's World Championship. Now, again, Hughezy, you said the shit before they ever said Rhea versus Io for the world title on the Raw After Chamber. You said it right, and allegedly, you're like, allegedly, and then you were spot on. So, and I didn't see that coming, but it made a lot of sense. And yeah, you have a triple threat: Bianca, Io, Rhea Ripley for the world title. You called it. Io wins. The visual we got at the end of the Women's Chamber was those three standing there, and you couldn't help but think, well, it's going to be a triple threat at Mania. Like, I knew right then you called it. And so, brilliant shit. I don't know. I really like Io. She's super over. Rhea's awesome too. I know the match doesn't need it. Like, it doesn't need Rhea versus Bianca can hold its own. However, Io is there and she's super over. And like Hughezy said earlier, with the limited matches, you gotta fit Io. Like, why not have all three of them? You can do singles next year, or like next year. Whenever I say year, folks, and we're talking about Mania season, we're talking WrestleMania to Mania, WWE calendar years here, okay? We operate on 2 different years when you're a sicko or a wacko or whatever. But yeah, dude, you can do singles matches down the line, and we've already seen iterations of them. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she leaves. I don't think Io leaves Mania as champion, though. I think Bianca does. No.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Bianca wins and turns heel in the process, because in this way you can protect Ripley while also setting up a new series of Belair versus Sky matches with the roles reversed from before.
Right.
Like I think, and this is going to sound like a AEW mark, a sicko, but I think this is going to be the best match at WrestleMania. I think they're going to do something brilliant.
Yeah. Some people are saying, oh, they can't have triple threats for shit, and they're either trolling or I don't know, man. I think, yeah, this match will be really good. Io is just, I think, all around. If you like in ring action, to me, I think you could argue she's the best in the world at like just getting across to the crowd while also like, doing an exciting, crazy style while still doing the WWE style that gets you over and shit. And that's showing with how like over she is and popular she has become. So,
and plus we've seen recently that Asuka and Kairi Sane are both healthy and on the way back. Maybe they get involved. Maybe it's revealed that Asuka was the one that attacked Jade Cargill or something. There's so many possibilities that are coming up. Like I think that's why there was that report a couple of weeks ago that liar Sean Ross Sapp made up that cricket face where he says,
"Oh boy, tell me how you really feel about him."
Liar!
Where he said,
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
Exactly. Where he goes, a report from multiple sources says the women are unhappy with their creative. It's like,
yeah.
What women in WWE is not being used right now apart from Natty?
No, you're absolutely right, and it's crazy that happens. What, the day after Megan Bain and Thunder Rosa are like about to shoot on each other in the ring or whatever that was on Dynamite, you know, and
then they say, oh, in AEW nobody gives a shit about the Tony Fumble thing. It's like, yes, they do. It's funny how in WWE the staff are gonna go on strike because they're not getting raises. It's like, why would they get raises? They're all contracted. They're not just gonna start giving you more money if you've signed a contract for a certain amount. Yeah.
It's like they're saying this shit to, like, I don't know who eats this up. People who've never had jobs, so they don't know how I'm signing a contract works. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I genuinely think that if it's anybody watching this or listening to it, if you're paying for a Patreon like a Meltzer or a Sean Ross Sapp, they're conning you out of money. Like, even if it's only $15 a month, that's money that they're lying to you about.
Yeah.
And it keeps happening where they keep getting exposed. Like, oh, they obviously made this shit up. They made that shit up. This turned out to not be true. But they keep reporting it. Oh, breaking news on Fightful. Me and my reporters have pulled their fists out of our cunt to say that Hulk Hogan cut his dick off. It's like, it turns out he didn't. And I hate that Irish guy that works for Fightful. Absolute shithead. You pussy. You're not a real man. Off.
Some Irishman on Irishman war over here going on here with Hughezy. Oh my god, I love
Corey Brennan. That's his name.
2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Is that guy's an Irishman?
Unfortunately,
I didn't know, dude. You're in good company, Hughezy. So here's Carmella. We've covered it on the show a little bit. She's like, hey, I'm gonna make this announcement about my status with WWE, and we learned that she wasn't signed with them anymore. I don't know if like it was out there, they released her, they fired her, they didn't renew her. Like every iteration of what a contract negotiation could be was laid on the table. That didn't happen. And then she is like, don't worry, I'm going to talk about it. And she's in good spirits. And I was like, look, she had some sort of like birth injury or complication with it. And I think she's trying to recover from that still. I was like, so I bet it was like an amicable, like, hey, let's just, if I'm not going to come back, why would you re-sign me type thing? And that's why she was all happy and good spirits about it with her video saying, don't worry, this Thursday, you guys will know, et cetera, et cetera. And so you fast forward, we go to Thursday or whatever day it was. And or Tuesday rather. My days are all made. It's only Wednesday. No. But so yesterday this clip drops of her on this podcast where she talks about how she was treated in WWE, and I guess she feels like she was wronged, and because she got pregnant, that's why they fired her. She was being punished for being pregnant. Now she's emotional. She's airing this shit out for the first time. I'll give her a bit of a pass, but then she sort of walked the shit back. And sometimes people get on air and they feel like they have to voice something and they don't do it correctly. I can give her the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. Chat can interpret for themselves. I want Hughezy's thoughts, but let's listen to what Carmella has to say. And then we have like an update that I bookmarked like right before I came on the air here.
I mean, I guess fast forward until a few weeks ago, and then I got a call saying that my contract was up in 10 days. Everyone just ghosted.
So she's like, I got a call telling me I got through 5 seconds. So she got a call saying her contract was up in 10 days. So I don't know. Wouldn't that be something she should know too already?
I didn't know that her contract she signed said job forever. I'm so sick of these dickheads who are like, I can't believe it. WWE didn't extend my deal. It's like, what do you mean? Like, just like they haven't extended everyone's deal ever? Like, that's what happens. Like, I don't know where you're.
And Domino, dude. Why don't they got jobs?
Yeah, why isn't Bash and Booger headlining SummerSlam?
Or the Basham brothers, dude. Or the Basham twins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like I don't know where you work, Phil, but I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be forever. Like, and that's the whole point of a contract. It's for a certain amount of time. It's not like you don't work at a bar. It's not like you work at a supermarket. Yeah. It's a TV show. No spoilers on Daredevil, but there's certain people coming back that will be there for a few episodes and then gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so tired of this complaint by wrestlers. Now, she was out for a while dealing with, being pregnant and all that sort of stuff. I don't see her complaining, going, oh, God, they paid me all this money while I was sitting at home. Yeah. I'm so pissed off. Yeah. But now they're like, well, okay, you're back, you're fine. We're not going to extend your deal. I just think, like, I feel bad for her if this is up her life, but at the same time, like, understand what the concept of a contract is.
And her just saying, like, and I guess in 10 days my deal's up. Like, well, shouldn't you know that? And I was going to say, doesn't this tie into Corey Graves? Like, I was going to ask you, maybe this ties into Corey Graves's quote unquote displeasure or whatever with WWE recently. And then he went to NXT and all of that. But she's saying here that all of a sudden my deal's up. So Corey Graves's displeasure was more than like 2 weeks ago. No. So the way she's making it sound is this is in the last like couple weeks. This all went down type shit.
I've heard he's lucky to still have a job.
Okay. Like just did he pull some shit or what? Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly he get in trouble for wellness policies.
Oh, does he smoke the ganj? They don't test for that.
Oh, a little bit more.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, nobody knows why, but apparently he's failed a couple of wellness tests. That's like, what I know. Is he trying to get back in the ring?
Like, is he trying to get back in the ring? Like that sort of thing?
Oh, no, like partying.
Oh, allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But,
right?
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's that sort of, I can't remember, well, this backs up my point perfectly. Samantha Irvine, or Irwin, or whatever her name is. And then there was another girl that used to host The Bump.
Yep.
Do you remember her name?
I don't remember it, but yeah, she was complaining, I think, or that one guy who got fired was like complaining on her behalf, one of the two. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. These people need to understand you're here on a a temporary contract. Like, you're not going to be here forever, so enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
I just get so frustrated. Like, can these people get into an industry that they don't understand?
I don't know, dude. I think it's just all around in society. And I'm not calling Carmella entitled here, okay? And we'll listen to the clip, but there's like an entitlement epidemic or something like that. It's huge. It's a big problem. We have to deal with it. No. Okay, here's Carmella.
I mean, I guess fast forward until a few weeks ago, and then I got a call saying that my contract was up in 10 days. Everyone just ghosted. Completely ghosted.
Everybody's getting sued if it was me.
What if this is the end of my career? Like, what am I doing with my life? What do I have to offer? Why wasn't I given an opportunity somewhere else? I mean, I guess fast forward.
So yeah, she wanted an opportunity somewhere else, as in like in a different position, and as far as like maybe she could take Samantha Irvin's job or something. But she said she was completely ghosted. That's shitty if they ghosted her, but also like what much more is there to talk about?
Yeah, I can't believe that WWE would focus on turning John Cena heel instead of bringing back the draw that is Carmella.
Oh man, hey man, Mella is money. Didn't you know that? So we have like a follow-up from her where she is like, guys, I didn't mean what I said or something like that. So here we go. Let's listen to this here.
Okay, can I just say that reel, those are... Okay, can I just say that reel, those are just clips and short little edits from the entire hour-long podcast episode. So before you judge, I just want you to know that you have to listen to the entire episode to get context on any of this.
Please listen to the entire episode whenever Hughezy's on too, because we definitely need context for some of the shit that is said tonight. No, I'm just trolling.
Podcast episode is not a hit piece on WWE at all. I literally just speak my truth and speak about what happened, what went down, and how everything happened and what transpired. So before you judge and make assumptions, wait till Friday till you listen to the entire thing, because all I do is speak the truth, and I want you to hear the truth. And
so like there's not even a full episode out yet. Whoever made the podcast like clipped it that way. That is so funny.
Don't listen to clips that you see on social media.
Don't listen to the clips of the show that I was on. Just watch the show. She's basically like burying the people who run the pod before it even comes out.
Yeah, don't listen to what I said. Just put me in the game.
Yeah, she's in the game. 2 Carmellas. They have the old one and the modern one as well.
Because they're just clips. Make sure you listen to the whole thing, and then let me know what you think.
Holy shit, that is funny.
But that's another thing that annoys me. These people, it's like, so it's 2025, we're March 2025. You still don't know that you have to watch what you say on a podcast because stuff can be clipped and taken out of context. It's like then don't talk. If somebody says, "Oh, you've left WWE," go, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that."
Yep. Or it's like when you've never been to WWE and then you still insist on talking about them.